These are the last American-made kitchen tools still worth owning. While 88% of kitchen products are now manufactured overseas, and most of those come from China, a handful of companies refused to leave. They kept the factories running, kept skilled workers employed, and kept making products designed to last decades instead of years. And what they make is genuinely worth owning. Let's start with Lodge Cast Iron, probably the best-known American cookware company still standing. Lodge was founded in 1896 by Joseph Lodge in South Pittsburg, Tennessee, a town with barely 3,000 residents. Today, the company employs hundreds of people and ships over 1 million pounds of cast iron cookware every single week. But what makes Lodge remarkable isn't just its size, it's the fact that it survived at all. In 1910, the original foundry burned completely to the ground. 3 months later, the furnaces were running again in a new building a few blocks away. During the Great Depression, when almost nobody was buying cookware, Lodge stayed alive by casting garden gnomes, toy animals, and doorstops, anything they could sell just to keep employees working. That mentality never really changed. In 2002, Lodge became the first cast iron manufacturer to pre-season cookware directly at the factory, which completely changed how people bought cast iron. Suddenly, you could take a skillet home and cook immediately instead of spending hours seasoning it yourself. Then in 2023, Lodge did something people in the cookware industry thought was basically impossible. They launched fully American-made enameled cast iron cookware. For decades, if you wanted enameled cast iron, your options were expensive. French brands like Le Creuset and Staub, or cheaper imports from China. Lodge became the first company to seriously bring that production back to the United States. And they're not the only ones trying to revive American cookware manufacturing. In South Carolina, Smithy Ironware has built a huge following by making heirloom quality cast iron and carbon steel pans entirely in the U.S. Founder Isaac Morton started the company in 2015 after becoming obsessed with restoring vintage American cookware from brands like Griswold and Wagner. Instead of copying modern mass production, Smithy focused on smooth finishes, polished interiors, and pans designed to be handed down for generations. Their philosophy is simple: buy one pan once. Then there's Finex in Portland, Oregon. Finex cookware is almost absurdly overbuilt. Each skillet passes through around 12 different sets of hands during production. They polish the surfaces by hand, season them with flaxseed oil, and machine every edge with incredible precision. The octagonal shape has become their signature because it pours more cleanly from multiple angles and cools differently than traditional round skillets. Lodge actually acquired Finex in 2019, their first acquisition in more than a century, but Finex still operates independently, keeping its original methods and small-scale production philosophy. Now let's move to something that's probably sitting on your kitchen counter right now: the KitchenAid stand mixer. The story starts in 1908 when engineer Herbert Johnson watched bakers struggling to mix bread dough by hand. He designed a mechanical mixer to solve the problem, and eventually the machine made its way into home kitchens. The name KitchenAid supposedly came from an executive's wife after testing the prototype. She said, "I don't care what you call it, it's the best KitchenAid I've ever had." And somehow the name stuck. KitchenAid stand mixers have been produced in Greenville, Ohio since 1941. Today, that factory builds millions of mixers every year and employs nearly 1,000 workers. Now technically, KitchenAid labels many mixers as assembled in the USA because some parts still come from overseas, but the core manufacturing still happens in Ohio. What's really interesting is what happened in 2012. KitchenAid brought hand mixer production back from China and discovered something unexpected. They could manufacture the mixers domestically at higher quality and lower overall cost. That completely challenges the assumption that overseas manufacturing is always cheaper. Even Julia Child trusted the Greenville factory. When she needed a replacement mixer for a television series with Jacques Pepin, she sent her original mixer directly back to Ohio. Then there's John Booz and Company. the company that practically invented the modern butcher block. Founded in Illinois in 1887, Booz became famous for end grain cutting boards, the kind where the wood fibers stand vertically instead of horizontally. That detail matters because it makes the surface gentler on knife edges, more durable over time, and naturally resistant to bacteria. Today, Booz boards are standard equipment in professional kitchens across America. And there's a weird cultural detail I love about this company. When the Food Network launched in 1993, almost every chef on television was chopping on a Booz block because the network's buyers decided it represented the professional standard. That one decision basically turned Booz into the cutting board people associate with serious cooking. For baking, no American company is more iconic than Nordic Ware. The company started in a Minneapolis basement in 1946, and in 1950 they created the Bundt pan, which eventually became one of the most recognizable baking products in the world. But the real breakthrough happened in 1966, when a tunnel of fudge cake baked in a Bundt pan nearly won the Pillsbury Bake Off competition. After that, demand exploded nationwide. Today, over 75 million households own a Bundt pan, and Nordic Ware still manufactures most of its products in Minneapolis with hundreds of American workers. For knives, there's Lamson, one of the oldest manufacturing companies in the country. Lamson was founded in Massachusetts in 1837 and is still producing knives there almost 2 centuries later. In 1869, the company crafted a massive 62-piece dining set for President Ulysses S. Grant, using ivory and mother-of-pearl handles so elaborate that pieces from the collection are now displayed at the Smithsonian Institution. And unlike most knife brands today, Lamson still forges and finishes its products domestically. A few more companies deserve mention too. Heritage Steel still produces stainless-clad cookware in Tennessee. 360 Cookware manufactures cookware in Wisconsin using domestic stainless steel. USA Pan has made bakeware in Pennsylvania for over 50 years. And Liberty Tabletop is now the last remaining flatware manufacturer left in the United States. So why do these companies stay when almost everybody else moved production overseas? Part of it is practical. Heavy products like cast iron, glass, and coolers are expensive to ship internationally, but most of it comes down to something less measurable: identity. These companies believe that everyday objects should last. A Lodge skillet takes hours to make and can survive generations. A KitchenAid mixer built in the 1940s can still work today. A Booz cutting board can outlive the kitchen it sits in. And maybe that's the real point. These aren't just kitchen tools. They're proof that manufacturing things well and building them to last still matters.